deep dive into SQL group by. Hi everybody, this is Sam with Python Basics, and we're going to be jumping back and looking at some SQL today. So I posted this in a poll maybe last week, and I think this is the largest amount of responses that I've had. It's 39 and 37 of them. I think I looked at it 2 days ago and it was 30, and then yesterday 37 yeses and 2 nos. So with that feedback, I thought this would be a great thing to talk about. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. So what I did is with inside of my workbench, you can actually upload a file. So I went ahead and created this file right here, and it has 3 fields: date, name, and spend, and it has then I believe 16 records or rows. So let's actually talk about that. So columns, fields, synonyms, records, row, synonyms. All right, so what we're going to be doing is, the reason why I have Excel pulled up here is actually we're going to be utilizing, let's bring this over just a touch because we cannot see some. So we're actually going to be creating our own responses with this, with average, count, min, max, and sum. So to really drive home what group by does. So we're going to start here with a regular query of querying all rows, and I've just named this MySQL as a table. That was the name of the file. That's what I went with. So let's first bring in the date. Okay, so when I run this, I'm going to get 16 rows of all the dates. So the first thing I'm going to group by is group by date. And I'm going to also show this, there's 2 ways to do this, and this is where it can get tricky for some. So let's really jump into what in the world is group by doing. So you can think about this as distinct or compressing. So we're going to have these side by side. So I'm going to slap I already got the filter. So as I am right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the dates are in December. It's the 2nd, 15th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. So I'm grouping by these. So the way that I like to look at this is the group by is it compresses. So if we were to take this as an accordion and compress how many you make one, make all these one, make all this one, there's 3 of them, make all that one, all that one, all that one, and you compress these together, fold them over on top of each other, and we get 6 outputs: the 2nd, the 15th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. Don't know why they're not in order, but that is the case. So that may be a little odd. Let's look at this with name now. All right, let's run this one. So we have how many different names? We have John, Matt, Sam, Steve, Tom, and Tony. So if I compress all of these, so here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now this is where it gets very interesting. Now where the group by happens is when you have an aggregate function, and that is a function that is an average, a min, a max, a count, a sum, any of those where you're going to take a reference and then what I call compressing them together. So let's do name, and we're going to group by name, and then we're going to do all of them. Average, and I think we're going to do this. averages first. So we can go through and look at this. So average spending. Then we're just going to copy this. Have count. We have min. We have max. And then we have sum. And then we're going to go through exactly what I'm doing. Now, the thing that I know that can cause angst, you can group by, or you can group by, well, here, let's just run this. So when I run this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields or 6 columns. My first column is name. I'm grouping by name, my first column. So I can actually number this and reference this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all aggregate columns. They are doing some sort of calculation in reference to the name column. So when I run this, I can't remember if I did this. So I get the same results as grouping by one or grouping by name. We're going to leave this. But the way that I like to explain this is you need to group by every that you're calling. You have to group by every column, every field that is not an aggregate function. That took me a minute to really wrap my head around because we're not doing any compression here with a function, so we need to compress it together with a group by. All right, so if there are any other questions about that, we can talk about this. So now let's look at what this does. So I'm going to pull up John, and let's look at this. All right, so the records for John: 235, count of 1, min of 235, max of 235, sum of 235. And as we can come along here, each of these columns. So the reason why I love Excel is as you're going through, you can prototype your query that you're doing. Do everything here in SQL, check it, then run your query, and you'll get the exact results. So then you know if the results you're expecting you're getting in your output. So now let's check Matt. So as we're going through here, and you can see SQL is averaging this just as Excel is. So 9, let's change our rows, 907 with 3 remainder, count of 3, min of 571, max of 1236, and sum of 2722. And as we can go through here, we can compare and contrast and check every single one of these. So this, it would be the equivalent of us compressing on just the name and then adding and doing our calculations on our field associated with each reference. That is where a group by can become very, very confusing very quickly. So now if we were to change this is why I also like to do these as numbers. So let's change this to date, and let's run this. So now we are getting rid of the names and only caring about the date. So we can hide this. And now let's go through the date. So now, doesn't matter who the purchase was. So here we are on the 2nd. We had an average of 6,005, a count of 4, minimum of 275. So we are compressing. So if we were to draw this down and add all of these up and do each individual column, and as I'm doing this, and as you can see with SQL, with MySQL, since we didn't name these, there we have neatened all this up: date, average, count, and then we could even throw a round a round over the average. So, and sum, because apparently there's a little bit of a bug here. So I really hope this has cleared this up. So, and again, this is one of these features of a SQL brain that you just need to do over and over and over again. Because I remember coming from Python, my default was a loop. we handled things in loops. Well, SQL does columns and rows. And this is why I like this segue is everybody's very comfortable, or I assume everyone's more familiar with Excel, and we can see and touch the data right here. So import and export the data so you can experiment and begin to test, because you want to be able to have a proof of concept that you're going to get the output that you're expecting. And especially if you're doing complex queries, and especially if you're deriving an algorithm to do something with a database, you want to have a proof of concept that you're getting the output that you're expecting. So I know this is a little bit of a longer video today, but please consider jumping over to the Discord server. The link is down below. We're having a lot of great conversations over there. I hope everyone is having a great start to their new year. Please give this video a thumbs up for me. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you really enjoyed today's video. And if you haven't, check out this video right here or this one right down here. And most important, make sure you're hitting this subscribe button and the notification bell. Thanks again for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.